welcome back to Pia Talks. We are talking the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 10, Episode 5. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content. This episode picks up right where we left off. They're still at Denise's pizza party, and everyone is still on edge. Sutton decides that she's going to be everyone's mama at the table. She tells everybody, girls, children, be quiet. And I'm thinking to myself, Sutton, shut the hell up. You new to this group. You on the bottom of the pecking order. Who the hell are you talking to like this? She says, I think Kyle is upset because of the comment that Dorit made about having a life. And Kyle says, yes, I was very upset by that because I'm filming a movie, launching a clothing line. I have a husband and 4 kids. And everybody else at the table is like, okay, bitch, so what? We have lives too. She says Erica's doing her shows and she's on Broadway. Denise says, wait a minute now, I'm filming in LA. I have a child with special needs and another child and a husband and a crazy ex-husband. Bitch, please. Denise was not for the foolishness. She really wasn't. In the midst of all this, Lisa Rinna chimes in again. And this is the thing that ticks me off. Does Lisa Rinna really expect Kyle not to back her sister? We're sisters. I have sisters, and I would never take somebody's side over my sisters. Absolutely not. No, ma'am. Now, if my sisters are wrong, I'm going to tell them, you wrong for that. But nobody else is going to get in my sister's face. Are you kidding me? These are my sisters. Now, if we were out and something was going on and you needed a little backup, Lisa, of course Kyle would stand up for you, but not against her family. I think Lisa is really overstepping, and all the screaming and yelling was out of play. Now, Kyle telling all the girls that they're not being honest and pretty much they're fake ass bitches. Now, that's where she lost me. She lost me there. She wants to say that they're fake. Garcelle says, oh, really? Why? She was like, give me an example of when I'm fake. And Kyle says, I wasn't pinpointing you, and then she gets up and storms off without giving an explanation as to who was a fake ass bitch and why she was saying that. And Erica said, well, that's her thing. That's what she does. She drops some rude comments and then she storms out without explanation. And that is, to me, is ridiculous. However, the woman was crying. She's in tears. So she storms off, and Sutton, she says, well, that's rude. She didn't say goodbye or thank you. Sutton, go home. When Kyle storms off, Teddy gets up and chases after her. So, of course, that is the trigger for Dorit. Oh, look at Teddy running off after her like a little lap dog. Well, listen, when you are friends with somebody and they're upset, you're going to go check on them. I mean, that is the friendship thing to do. And I think Dorit was being a little petty with that particular comment. However, Kyle runs off to the porta potties that Denise has nicely set up out there in the front, and starts dogging Denise, calling her a ragamuffin again and F you and all this stuff. And I'm like, Kyle, who the hell are you? The damn fashion police? First, Dorit can't get glammed up to fake workouts. Now Denise isn't glammed up enough and she's a ragamuffin. Who the hell are you, ma'am? Take several seats. Everybody go home. So after Kyle leaves, Teddy decides that she is going to sit down with the girls and explain to them what they've done wrong. Okay, so this is where I try to keep an open mind with Teddy, but this is where Teddy crosses the line with me a little bit. She wants to tell the girls, you have no right to talk to her like that. You're ganging up on her. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, she started the conversation. She started all of this by going in on Dorit about being glammed up and showing up late for Teddy's event. Then after that, Lisa Rinna blew it up even more. Then the comment calling everybody fake ass, that is when everybody starts going in. So the next thing you know, Lisa Rinna goes in on Teddy.
I do, Teddy. Because you know what? I'm frustrated now. I wanted to know what was wrong with her and to see if I could help in any way. Don't try to fix it, and don't try to tell me what I'm doing, Teddy.
Lisa tells Teddy pretty much to shut up and mind her own damn business. I just think that Kyle, Teddy, Lisa, and Dorit, they were all doing too much. This is so ridiculous. What is this fight really over? This started out as a whole Teddy glam thing and ended up, 5 years back with the whole situation with Lisa and Kim. It's stupid. Nobody should have had to jump up from a table and cry and storm off. All of you ladies are over 40. Some of you are over 50. Why are we arguing about this? It's ridiculous. Let it go. Erica and Denise go for coffee. Erica starts out the conversation apologizing to Denise for their behavior at her party and the language that was used in front of her children. Denise says, yeah, the kids overheard and asked her about threesomes, but they showed a clip and her daughter was fine. Her daughter is a teenager. She thought it was funny. I think, Denise is in the clear. Denise was just worried that the other children that were there were going to go home and tell their parents and then have Denise looking like a bad mom, which is a valid point. However, you know these ladies, you know who you invited over, and you knew that most of their conversations are not suitable for children. So one, why have the children there? Two, if they are going to be there, you need to place them somewhere separate from where the ladies are. So, you're a part of the problem as well. They start talking about Kyle, and Erica mentions that Kyle has a lot going on. She's filming a movie. She's got the kids. She's a great wife as well. And Denise says, wait a minute now. She said, I film 10 episodes a week of The Bold and the Beautiful. I also go home, make dinner for my children, and then study my lines for the next week. She says, so give me a break. She said that Kyle is so sensitive about all this, and she's using her having a life and having all this work as an excuse to be an asshole, and it's not acceptable. She also said that she sent a text message to all the girls thanking them for coming to her party, and everybody replied except for Kyle. When you think about it, Denise, who cares? Garcelle throws a party for her twins, Jax and Josh. I hope I remembered that right. They're both 12. And she said that most Beverly Hills parties, they spend, upwards of $60,000. And she's not doing that for her twins. They are having donuts, cakes, cookies, and ice cream, all the things kids like. And it's right there at her house. And I said, I am with that. I don't understand spending $60,000 for a birthday party for a 4-year-old. They'll never remember it. However, I'm very thankful that she didn't invite Jennifer from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, because Jennifer would have drugged you for filth. How dare you have a party with donuts and chips? No, ma'am. Jennifer doesn't play that game. But anyway, it was nice to see her ex-husband was there, and she was saying that when they were going through the divorce, she did not want her sons to see her in any pain or crying, so she kept that to herself. And she's not even sure if the boys realized that the reason for the divorce was due to their father cheating on her. She just didn't want the children to suffer through the divorce the same way she was, which is really good. That makes her a pretty cool mom, to try to lessen the pain for those kids. And I think that, she mentioned that her and Mike work extra hard to make the co-parenting work so that the children don't suffer from them being divorced. And that sounds like a good plan. So Lisa's mom, Lois, is back, and I love Lois. Every time she is on the show, I just smile. Lois is 91 years old and she still drives. I'm a little nervous about the driving. 91. Ooh. Anyway, I still love Lois. She's so cute. Anyway, Lisa and Lois and all the rest of the girls head over to Erica's studio for appetizers before they go to Lisa's daughter's premiere of their clothing line, DNA. So when everybody gets there, everyone's a little tense, a little nervous, a little worried about what's going to happen. And, since they all had that falling out earlier, Lisa pulls Kyle to the side and apologizes for her behavior. Kyle lets her know that she really loves her and values her, and Lisa says, well, I value you too, and I understand you do have my back when I'm in a pinch. And Kyle accepts her apology but says, I know you're just doing this pretty much because you don't want any mess at your daughter's event, which is true. She doesn't want any BS at her daughter's event. The girls were talking about going to Italy, so I'm seeing that as a trip coming up in the future, I'm sure. Dorit mentions that she's bought into a Buca de Beppo location there in California. I hate to say it, but I hate that food at Buca de Beppo. Yeah, I don't like that food there. But anyway, she's bought into one of their locations and she's going to be remodeling and redoing it. And they showed a clip of Garcelle asking her, she said, you know, people are going to be asking about your money problems. It's everywhere that you have financial issues. And she said, well, it's not true. I don't know how much I believe that. As I said in the past, that's none of my business. But I don't think I believe that Dorit is really not in financial trouble. You know, she said that that house is in her name, but all the blogs are reporting that allegedly that house is in some business name, not really her name. I have no idea what the hell is going on with Dorit's finances, but I can tell you what, Dorit does not look like she is suffering for money at all. That woman looks amazing every episode. Kyle invites all the girls to go to Santa Barbara with her for an overnight. You know that's going to be a mess. That's all I have to say. There's no way that they're not going to scream and fight in Santa Barbara. No way. But if they didn't, would we watch? So they all decide to head out to go to the DNA launch. And when they get there, Sutton is acting a little odd. She tells Dorit in a whisper that she's about to freak out. You know, she's nervous, she's concerned. And Dorit is wondering what the hell is going on with Sutton. And I was wondering the same thing too. Well, later in the episode, she mentions that she had a business deal with a guy named Joey Mallow, or Malu, I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing that right. They were going to do some sort of app. It was a glam app, and she had invested a few million in this project, and somehow they've had some sort of a falling out. But Lisa Rinna uses him for her makeup and other business situation that she has, and she was just worried that he was going to be there and she was going to have to, you know, speak with him or have a conversation with him. And he didn't show up, so he wasn't there, so there was no confrontation. However, one thing happened there that I thought was weird. Lisa's daughter mentioned that she took care of all the flowers for the event. She DM'd somebody and got these flowers, and Lisa was so impressed. And when she told the rest of the girls, they were just looking at her, and I'm thinking, these grown-ass girls can't order flowers? Like, why is that miraculous? Like, what's so wonderful about the fact that they ordered some flowers? Anybody can do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too hard on the girls, but they're college girls. Like, I could order flowers in middle school. I'm just saying. Okay. Before they leave the event, Kyle apologizes to Denise, but it wasn't the best. And Denise said she can pretty much keep that half-ass apology. She says that Kyle doesn't give a shit about her or her feelings, and she thinks Kyle is extremely selfish. They get to dinner, and Dorit, out of nowhere, brings up the fact that Sutton said that she was going to freak out, and Dorit makes it seem like Sutton was out of control or something. The woman whispered to Denise that she was going to freak out. She didn't have a scene or anything, and Denise says, well, this is not the place for that. This is her child's event. And the next thing you know, Lisa Rinna goes off and says, well, I'm glad that you didn't act out because I would have put you the F out. What? And that reminds me, a few videos back, I said it's only a matter of time before Lisa Rinna and Sutton have a falling out. I thought, are you kidding me?
Very quietly.
She said, I'm gonna freak the out.
I didn't say it like that. What is wrong with you?
That's an intense
Well, I'm
statement.
glad you didn't do that in
So
front
I
of
don't
me,
know
'cause
what
I
freak the
would've
fuck out.
kicked you the out, like
No, I
really
wouldn't have
bad.
zipped it. To me, when someone's gonna freak the I don't know what that means. Are they gonna lose their mind? Are you gonna start throwing drinks? I started to panic thinking.
Well, I would imagine you'd be like, are you
going
going to ruin the girls' event?
That's what I'm going to do.
I mean,
Lisa.
I would
Would
hope
I
not.
ever do that? No.
I would hope not.
That's ridiculous.
Nobody's going to do that.
Nice.
Sutton,
You're not.
listen to me.
No.
Let me explain myself.
Meanwhile, Lois is still eating her chips. She said, y'all are not going to stop my flow. Everybody else is pretty much in shock, like, what is happening here? The next thing you know, Sutton is in full tears. And I'm thinking, really, Dorit? Really, Lisa? What is wrong with the two of you? She didn't cause a scene. She didn't act a fool. She didn't do anything stupid. The stupid thing was talking to Dorit. But by the time Sutton finally shut Dorit the hell down, Dorit decides, well, I've done my damage here. She's crying. Let me see who else I can get to cry. She decides to go back in on Kyle and the whole glam thing and the fake ass bitches thing. Oh my God. Well, why did she do that? Because then Denise decides, oh really, bitch? We talking about that now? Denise decides that she's going to go in as well. Denise starts going off on Kyle. It's back and forth, back and forth.
You, Denise, who were like down to earth and no makeup last year, and you're like all of a sudden getting glam. Like, well, what do you care? So all of a sudden I was like, are you kidding me?
Showed up in jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah, with full glam and having like a diamond ice sculpture at your house. So I was like, everybody's so bullish.
Your dear friend, sister, confidant, came first year, no glam.
I grew up riding horses and was a professional equestrian, so I am the world's most awkward dresser.
Second year, glam every day.
Hi.
I am f***ing Denise Richards, Kyle. I don't think these bitches know. I've been on like every f***ing magazine cover you can possibly imagine that they would want to be on.
Sorry to interrupt.
Please,
Go ahead.
because you talk at us sometimes, not to us, and you don't listen.
Hold on, you guys asked a million questions. I finally said, let me give clarity, and now I gave it. So let's go with
No,
that. I
you need to
didn't
be
know that.
quiet. Stop.
No, I don't need to be quiet.
Then I'm not going to finish talking. Do you ever let
Okay,
people
good.
talk?
Oh my God. She is Denise Richards, bitch. Okay? Did you know? Did you forget? Okay? She knows how to glam up and glam down. And damn it, why can't she have an ice sculpture that's shaped like a diamond? What is wrong with her ice sculpture? Can Kyle be the only one that can be glammed up? Is Kyle the only one that's allowed to have beautiful things? And is she in charge of everybody? Does she say when you should be glammed and when you shouldn't? Give me a break. Kyle was doing too much. Denise was doing too much. Dorit, go home. And Sutton, stop all the damn crying. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Later on Watch What Happens Live, Andy mentions that last week, after last week's episode aired, Kyle put a lengthy apology to Denise on Instagram for her behavior and calling her a ragamuffin. Denise says that she's not even mad about the ragamuffin comment. She didn't care about that. She also said that they got the ice sculpture because of a diamond because her little girl likes diamonds and she picked it out. So get over it, Kyle. Also said that she thought Dorit really took what Sutton did overboard and that she didn't think it was very nice or friendly for the way Lisa Rinna went off on Sutton. I thought, wow, these are grown rich people. Like, these are grown women with active lives that have so much more that they could be doing. And this is how they spend their time, just screaming and hollering and acting ridiculous for no reason. Well, I guess there is a reason. They get a paycheck for it, and we're entertained. I mean, I love it. I love screaming at my TV. I like getting my blood pressure up. He also asked Denise, does she ever, in business negotiations, ever tell somebody that she's Denise Richards' bitch? And she said no, she's only done it that one time in confessional. Girl, that was priceless. That's going to go on some Housewives reel somewhere as one of the top funniest comments. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to next week. I don't know who's crying next week, but it could be anybody. They're all going to take turns crying this season. I promise you, we're going to get a little tears from everybody. We've had Teddy so far, Kyle, and Sutton. Who is next? It could be me, for God's sakes. I don't know. But until next time, bye.